For my digital artifact, I'll be analysing stereotypical roles in video games, making relation to those associated with gender, culture, and age. Today, I'll be looking at gender roles in video games and focusing primarily on women in video games. So to gain a better understanding of gender roles, I have established 4 different stereotypes in which I believe is held against women. These are females as sex objects and prizes, females as victims, and females as heroes, and femininity as a whole. I took to Twitter to discuss this idea further. I created a poll encouraging others to vote on which they believe is most predominant in video games. The results showed that majority believe that women are represented as sex objects and prizes. So let's look at this idea further. So for this, I wanted to look at the clothing and appearance of these female characters. Through discussion with others and further research via YouTube clips, this idea of perfect figure and minimal clothing was addressed frequently. Big bust, tight waist, long hair, and low-cut tops seem to be a common theme associated with women. When asking why this is and the further explanation about the appeal surrounding the stereotype, the gamer simply replied, "It's just a normal thing, and it is common in all video games." A study by Peasley and Stanley looked at 597 characters within a variety of video games. Of this 597, only 82 were women. Majority of these 82 women were showing much more skin than the males, and 42% were portrayed with a very large bust. It is really interesting to note that none of these changes in physical appearance changed within the game rating, so PG, M, MA were all the same. Another study by Downs and Smith analysed 60 video games. They noted that compared to males, women were represented in a hypersexual way. Within the study, it is also noted that female heroes were completely absent. So let's look at female heroes. The reading Female Representation in Video Games Isn't Getting Any Better looked at the ever-famous Gaming Expo, Electronic Entertainment Expo of 2015, to see the different trends in female gaming. This reading spoke in depth about the protagonist of games and the overall freedom we have in creating characters and why most gamers opt for a male character. As you can see, the results show that only 5% of the games introduced at the expo had a female protagonist. Among the 5% was the game Wolfenstein Youngblood. In this game, the gamer must step into the shoes of a female character. Although this is encouraging to see this introduction of female power, it's important to note that the representation of this woman in the video games was not good. For example, the female was often turned into a sexual fantasy. So whilst all this information is beneficial in proving this strong notation of female stereotypes, I want to look further into society today and how this virtual reality is parallel to our reality. Feminism is the political, economical, and social equality of the sexes. In today's day and age, feminist activism is forefront. Equal rights between men and women is frequently expressed via online forums and physical protests. It's a conversation that was once never had, but today has developed as a societal issue that has changed the way we think about situations and virtually changed our societal norms. It's important to recognise that these changing of societal views and structure over the years, and it's extremely interesting to note that perhaps this development isn't parallel to the gaming industry at all. But why is that? Is it because perhaps having a woman as the prize for winning is most appealing to the gamers? Is it because we assume, stereotypically, that majority of gamers are males and therefore this is what they want to see? Or is it just because we are yet to make that virtual change? These are all questions that I look forward to uncovering by the end of my digital artifact. So stay tuned.